Deep in the tunnels under the Omaha Zoo's world-famous desert dome lies Mahoney's Kingdoms of the Night. On top of being the world's largest nocturnal exhibit, it is one of the coolest and most unique zoo experiences in the world. It's certainly one of my favorites, and it really makes a trip to the Omaha Zoo special. Omaha's Henry Joy Zoo was, of course, voted America's #1 best zoo yet again. I'm a little obsessed. At this point, I guess I'm the expert. So who better to take you on this goofy walking tour if not me? Let's go. After you hike through the blinding sunlight of the world's deserts, you trek downstairs, plunging into the dark depths of the zoo's underworld. The night and day light cycles are reversed down here, so we can observe how nocturnal animals behave in the wild and still make it home in time for dinner. The first section takes us through the forests and canyons of sub-Saharan Africa. The first animals we see live in this science fair project of an exhibit. These mole rats are naked. Get these balding little flesh balls on some finasteride stat. These creatures are specially adapted to survive in low oxygen environments, which is good because you're not getting a lot of fresh air when you live in the dirt. Springhaas look like a freaky little cross between a kangaroo, a rabbit, I guess a Pikachu? I'm sorry, I know this is a rude question to ask, but what happened to your arms? Best I can tell is that they do have little itty bitty T-Rex arms, but they mostly keep them tucked up into the further chest when not in use. It's sort of like an airplane tray, you know, please keep your arms locked in the upright position. Whoa, that porcupine's getting awful close there. Porcupines are better suited for long distance relationships. I'm sorry, we're not doing hugs. Your body is knives. This two-toed sloth is doing absolutely nothing. No flips, no tricks. Worst trapeze act I've ever seen. Sloth fur sometimes looks green in the wild because algae will grow on their fur in the rainy season, and that sounds but that's actually okay because the girls on TikTok told me it's actually better to only wash your hair once a week. Your hair is moldy? Trust the process, queen. This greater Bushbaby is chilling at the moment, but they have insane hops. The highest reported jump for a Bushbaby was 7 feet 5 inches. The average Bushbaby could clear a LeBron. From the makers of Air Bud comes the Bushbaby Basketball League. Can this ragtag team of 5 Bushbabies take on the NBA All-Stars team? Well, they better, because the loser of this game gets euthanized by LA County Animal Control. Look at this nosy neighbor. This Amazon Milky tree frog is hanging awfully close to the green tree python. Imagine the family next door is suctioned to your windows watching your every move. This HOA is out of control. Lined leaf-tailed geckos are supposed to be camouflaged as leaves, but I don't see it. I don't know many species of leaf that breathe, have big bulging eyes, and crawl around on all fours. I'm a leaf. No, you're just another puppet in the pocket of big insurance. Geckos can't sell insurance. That's an emu job. It says here that aardvarks feed exclusively on ants and termites. I thought aardvarks ate cake. You know, I'm realizing in real time, PBS really took some creative liberties with Arthur's design. Did this anthropomorphic 8-year-old child undergo years of extensive plastic surgery? Exiting the forest, we venture into the wet caves. This pool always terrified me as a child because it's just a big empty hole. No guardrails, no ropes, and it's not covered with any sort of plexiglass or anything. As an adult, I understand there is plexiglass in there so that the top part that is accessible and fall intoable is rather shallow. The pool has blind cavefish inside. We know the species is blind because they don't have eyeballs. And that's a perfect example of the type of groundbreaking research we're doing over at the Eyeball Institute for seeing if something has eyeballs or not. Seba's short-tailed bats primarily eat fruit, but will occasionally supplement their diet with nectar and pollen, which makes them excellent pollinators. I will say, the scent is not giving floral. This exhibit vents out into the visitor walkways. I was more so sensing strong notes of poop. The smell of bat guano is its own thing. This is a very cool exhibit. I will say people tend to run by it because of the stench, but I am in my Mr. Beast philanthropy era, so I'm happy to announce I will be personally donating to the zoo like 6 Glade plugins. Across from the short-tailed bats is this huge tank that at first glance looks empty, but just you wait, because the entire bottom of of this tank is covered in, hold up, let me make sure I'm reading this right, Titicaca Frogs. And you know, we're just gonna move right past the name. These frogs live exclusively in the oxygen-rich lakes and rivers of the Lake Titicaca Basin, which is a real place. So we're not gonna be making these immature juvenile jokes about it, okay? People live there. See, there it is on the map, right between Bolivia and Peru. You see, the top part is the titty side of the lake, and the bottom part is the caca side. Vampire bats are often demonized, but these are not blood-sucking monsters. They're blood-licking monsters. They don't suck people's blood, they lap it up from open wounds. Vampire bats have specialized thermoreceptors to help them find warm spots on sleeping animals' skin to make their incision. If an animal has fur, the bats will use their razor-sharp teeth to shave the area like a barber before making the cut. Worst fade ever. Exiting the wet caves, we enter the eucalyptus forest of Australia. Australian freshwater crocodiles are relatively small, 7 to 10 feet in length. Come on, short kings. They are saltwater tolerant, but they stay in the freshwater because they can't compete with larger saltwater crocodiles. If you're feeling self-conscious about your size, I have an American solution for this Australian problem. Buy a big truck. Big truck is masculine, intimidating, and you can drive big truck to CVS to pick up your testosterone supplements. Big truck. Tammar Wallabies are among the smallest wallabies in the world. Fashion trend alert. Chihuahua in bag is out. Tammar Wallaby and rolling backpack is in. Tammar Wallabies are one of the few mammals that can see color, which is honestly surprising to hear because they did absolutely nothing to stop Australian apartheid. Cancelled. Bat cave. We are now in the heart of the mountain as seen on TV, aka the last video I posted. Come on, cross promotion. Greater spear-nosed bats. Pause. Bring in the close-up. What? Let's look at the side profile. I guess flying unicorns are real? This is big news for the little girl community. A dominant male spear-nosed bat will preside over a harem of up to 30 females. They're doing sister wives. You would love Utah. Greater Bulldog bats are fishing bats, and I did not know that was a thing. They find the fish using echolocation and snatch them up from the water surface. Just goes to show that bats are more diverse than we think, and a Mediterranean diet does the body good. This exhibit has all the big boys. These are giant bats. Egyptian fruit bat, little golden mantle flying fox, great Indian flying fox. These guys answer the question, what if dogs had wings? They are adorable, but cuddle with caution because they are known to transmit several different diseases to humans. It's all fun and games until it's Lockdown Part 2, the sequel. Pause. I don't think that cockroach is part of the exhibit. And these bats mostly eat fruit, so I don't think that's lunch either. But you know what? I'm not a snitch. Squatters' rights. Up next, my favorite part across all the exhibits, the swamp. You enter this area through this shack. Rustic would be the Zillow buzzword here. It looks homey, but there's no windows or doors, so if this was the real swamp, this would be like Grand Central Station for mosquitoes. Tiger salamanders are one of the largest terrestrial salamanders in North America. Man, these salamanders stay moisturized. The goopy boys. Drop the skincare routine, king. Adult tiger salamanders occasionally turn cannibalistic and consume their own kind. God forbid a single mother has a snack. This corn snake wants out, and I might just take him home. They're ranked as one of the calmer, more docile snake breeds, and they're popular pets because of that. They eat mice, rats, etc. And hey, that's perfect because a mouse family wintered in my garden shed and chewed up the wires in my lawnmower. Look out for my new Ryobi snake attachment. American alligators and I go way back. Check out my Everglades adventure video after this if you want to see why. Come on, cross promotion. They are distinguished from crocodiles by their wider snouts. Okay, must be American because they're so wide, right? Such a cliche. Pick a new bit. But hey, happy Pride Month. These gators are allies. Alligator snapping turtles can grow terrifyingly large. The largest verifiable specimen lived at Chicago's Shed Aquarium and weighed 249 pounds. That's too much turtle. Now, if it was a gentle sea turtle, fine, you can be huge. But these are the hungry hippo turtles. They are opportunistic feeders that will hunt and eat anything it can get its razor sharp beak on. Their bite force is so strong it can break human bones. You know, sticks and stones can break my bones, but that turtle just ate that guy's leg. Beavers, of course, are the structural engineers of the animal kingdom, really revolutionizing construction in the stick and mud arts. The little pig with the stick house wouldn't have been in any danger if he had a beaver as his contractor. And that was really the moral of that story, right? You know, pigs make terrible architects. I thought it was a myth that beavers eat wood, but they actually do, specifically the bark of trees. I gotta say, there's so much better stuff to eat in the world, my guy. You've clearly never had a quesadilla explosion salad from an airport Chili's. You think the explosion is when it's going in, but the real explosive experience comes later. All right, you guys, we are coming to the end. The last animal we will visit in Kingdoms of the Night is something of a celebrity. Thibodaux is a leucistic alligator, meaning he has translucent white skin and blue eyes. It's a rare genetic condition otherwise known as being turned by a white walker. He is recovering, not from alcoholism. He's still doing that loud and proud. He had surgery last year to remove 70 coins from his stomach, which is honestly chump change. I've had way more coins in my stomach. You know, people look at you crazy, but if I'm not supposed to drink the coins, why are they in a cup on the counter? Ever heard of a sample? There were rumors that he was an animatronic because he would never really move. He probably wasn't moving because his stomach was full of quarters.
POV, you just ate $17.50 worth of quarters.
You know, I think that explanation makes more sense. Okay, we have officially achieved peak comedy and come to the end of today's tour. Mahoney's Kingdoms of the Night is such a unique experience. Out of all the zoos I've been to in my life, this is my favorite exhibit. Nocturnal animals are often underrepresented at zoos, so I love that Kingdoms of the Night is sharing the spotlight with these beautiful creatures. Which actually we should turn off that spotlight. That kind of, you know, defeats the whole purpose of this place. Thank you so much for watching. If you made it to the end, please like, subscribe, turn on notifications. I'm a Kingdoms of the Night fanboy, so I would love to hear in the comments which part of the exhibit was your favorite. We have one final video in the Omaha Zoo series on the way. We'll be looking at all of the outdoor exhibits and experiences to discover once and for all, why is this America's best zoo 3 years running? In the meantime, crack open the catalog and check out one of these walking tours next.